Good evening and welcome to Formula Pi Challenge Round 1. And we're back. We're here for the first round of 2017 Winter Series of Formula Pi. I almost said 2018 then. Close. Only, 11 days to go until that and then we'll be about right. But anyway, Tim has something very exciting to tell us.
I have a microphone, so hopefully you can hear me properly.
Check that out. All mod cons here now. So now Tim can actually be part of the conversation and he doesn't have to sound like he's shouting in a box in a corner somewhere very far away. And just for a minute I'm going to play with my microphone because I can't hear myself in my microphone. Someone's turned me down. That's better. I can hear myself now. Someone's turned all my dials all the way down. Oh, this is because this is the new microphone.
Yes, of course.
Yes. So for a minute then I couldn't hear myself. Right, we're ready to go. So tonight, Challenge Series. This is a new event for us, new design for this year, not our standard racing. We're going to alternate between challenges and races. So tonight, the idea of the game is we have two robots on the track, as you can see there, one green and one red. The idea is they have to race each other around the track, avoiding the stationary troll bots that we have put at strategic points around the track. These robots have been randomly placed by our random robot adjudicator, who I'm yet to name. And the idea is you have to avoid them. The first to 5 laps is the winner, and there is a 3-minute time limit on this. First to 5 laps gets 10 points. Second to 5 laps gets 5 points. If you don't get to 5 laps, you get no points. You go home completely empty-handed, knowing that you're going to have to work harder for the next round of Formula Pi. But we're here, we're good to go, and I'm prepared this week. I've got my notes, I've got my printouts, I've got my spreadsheets, and we fixed the connection as well. Thank you to Aaron's massive investigation that he did, the full-on CSI deep dive into what was happening with the web. Turns out that I'll tell you in the break what I was. We should just get on with the racing, really, shouldn't I? I'm chatting away.
Perhaps do the spin view, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. So, without further ado, we will crack on with spin view for tonight. First up, we have in the outside lane Dino 2 from Nantes in France. They say that their experience is below an average code experience. It'll be growing every week, we know this, because they're putting in code, they're returning things, so we're going to be getting better every single week. They've got that gorgeous little dinosaur logo as their top. We're still waiting for a lid. We know we've sent one, we're waiting for it very patiently, because I know it's going to be beautiful with that dinosaur on top of it. Their other relevant hobbies are modellism, cars, boats and slot cars, MotoGP and Le Mans, which is brilliant, great hobbies to have, especially when you're facing a robot like Pico Hulkenborg. I almost said his proper name then. Oh, damn it, I failed. Pico Hulkenborg is the second robot in this heat, another newcomer to Formula Pi for this year. From Oxford in the UK, I can see Pico Psychologist is in the chat tonight, so hopefully he's been sending the good vibes and the avoidance code vibes to him through the training sessions we've had. Their knowledge is of Python and some other languages. So, this is it, first one. And you'll also notice in the right-hand corner now, we have a lap counter. So, you guys at home will know who's done the most laps. We designed this in the week break between last testing, the sort of emergency testing that we did last week, and this week. So, we have been very busy. Also, Tim and I have moved house today, so we might be, if we suddenly fall asleep mid-feed, don't panic, it's just because we're exhausted from running around. But let's get going. Let's set
We
them
are
off.
ready to go. Shall I start the robots?
Yes, please.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
And it's nice. It sounds like, we can have a chat now. We can have a bit of back and forth. So green, red, green, and then they're away. The idea is to avoid the robots and do as many laps as possible. So Dino 2 has had a smash with the first one, but Pico has just very calmly walked by. Clearly the psychologist has been trying the slowly catching monkey approach. Dino 2 a bit more aggressive and just ramming into the back of all the robots, but Nico is just making it look easy. Pico, sorry. I am going to call him that all evening now because I'm tired. It might be a slow approach, but he has avoided so far all of the robots. Dino 2 stuck on that second robot, which is put on a rather difficult position. Nico is now... and Dino 2 bashing into the back of Pico, giving him a complete rear ender. And this is probably throwing a bit of a spanner into the works. Dino 2 is just absolutely mauling him. I'm unsure that there's much avoidance code going on in that particular robot, but Nico, however, Pico, Tim, honestly, sort me out. Now he's pushing him into the other robot. This is unheard of. Oh, this was going so well for Pico, and now Pico's made another avoidance. There we go, around that robot, and it's got away from Dino, who's gone off round the other way around the track. Although this slow and steady approach is going, it's working very well for him. Dino is just attacking the trolls. I think he must be pretty much against any sort of trolling behaviour. And, a little bash there by Pico, but one lap up on the lap board, as we can see. Just a lap completed there, but Pico has stopped, and Dino 2 is in trouble, stuck on that robot on the start of the S's and unable to get out. But now setting off again. Nico seems to have stopped. Pico seems to have stopped. It's also very difficult for me because somebody called Nico has just started at my work. So it's a name that I'm thinking about because I've been helping him quite a lot the last couple of weeks. So, now Pico has been flipped. Let's see how that changes things. One lap apiece now, one lap apiece. Pico is going backwards round the track. This is an interesting first set of avoidance challenges here. How close are we to the 3 minutes? I'm not sure. It feels like we must be close now.
We're I would say about 30 seconds away.
About 30 seconds out, says Tim Freeburn. We haven't got a timer. I should really start my timer.
We should add a timer to that, obviously.
Yeah. But you see, we worked so hard on the lap counter. But because Pico has gone back over the start line, I think that counts as a -1.
He was first across the one lap, and that
puts him in the lead still. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm still having some of the rules explained to me. But that first lap from Pico really set the standard. Slow and steady.
Okay, we're time up.
Time up. 3 minutes done. So with their first lap, a little spin for victory there at the end from Pico, just showing off a little bit there. The avoidance shown by Pico was absolutely fabulous, albeit at a slower speed. Clearly was working really hard to get around those robots and the ones that were strategically placed on the inside line. Very good performance from Pico. And Dino 2, a little bit erratic, but got the one lap in. So I think that's no points for either, as it didn't make 5 laps. But Pico technically was a winner in my book.
Unfortunately, no points for
really,
either.
really
Yeah,
performance.
it is a bit harsh, but that's the rules of the game.
But good performance from Pico. You should be pleased with that. I would be
Indeed.
pleased with that performance. It's very, very good. Right, on to the next pair of robots. Actually, whilst we're setting things up, I should explain about the internet. That we wrote a massive blog at some point last week about the internet troubles we've been having because our feed was dreadful and we were very, very sorry for it. And actually, on investigation, it turned out that we had somebody somewhere within the location of our office building here in Cambridgeshire who was obviously logging on and logging off, and it kept tripping our free Wi-Fi because BT, as part of their business program, they all have free Wi-Fi. You can log on to anyone's router if they have one of these free Wi-Fi zones set up. And we thought that these two things were separate. For the business connection to our connection were completely separate. But it turns out that when somebody is repeatedly hammering the connection and logging off and logging on and logging off and logging on, it can cause the connection to drop out. That was what was causing our connection to drop out. So we've disabled that, and hopefully, fingers crossed, this week you'll notice it's a little bit cleaner. Just let us know if it does drop again, because we are really keeping on top of this now to make sure that things are clean. But yeah, I can hear Tim feverishly clicking behind me. He's stepped away from his microphone now. Tim, are you changing batteries? Oh, yeah. So because we've got quite a few robots in play tonight, we're changing batteries feverishly in the background whilst we're going. And it might be there'll be a little bit of a break at some point in the evening because we need to swap, because we've got a full, basically almost 20 robots tonight running, so we need to make sure that they're all changed and ready to go. So I will get on with my job whilst Tim gets on with his job, and I stop telling you what he's doing. And we'll talk about who's next up in the competition. So first up on the outside lane, we have former Formula Pi entrants, the Super Ward brothers from Boise in Idaho. They came second in the first series of Formula Pi back in 2016. Feels like forever ago now, but they did really well and were really close to winning the series. They were phenomenal all the way through. And then last season came 14th. It didn't quite go to plan. It was a bit pitchy for them, and they didn't quite start off so well and didn't get enough points to get into the Eliminators, but hoping for a better performance this year. And next up, another Formula Pi entrant from the two previous series, Swinders from Waterlooville in Hampshire, came 9th in the first series of Formula Pi, made it into the Eliminators, but didn't progress to the final, was close to getting in, and last season came 12th. Again, close to getting into the Eliminators that time round and not quite making it. I think 11th was the cut-off that year. So really hoping for Swinders to get to a final. I want to see Swinders in a final this year. That's the vote for me. I have definitely hoping that he will make it, and we are good to go right now. Tim Freeburn, please release the robots.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
So you can see the lap counters there on the right hand side indicating how well the robots are going, and they're off. Oh, Swinders shaved by that and just made it around that robot beautifully. And then smashed into the second one. Oh, had a look at going round then. Oh, and it's going backwards. I can't see where the Super Ward brothers are. I've lost sight of them for a moment. They're just on the first straight. I've just seen a flick of black light move underneath the start gangway. They appear to be stuck on a wall. This is not looking good so far, and I didn't start off a timer. I'm going to have to quickly do that so I know where 3 minutes is, because otherwise I am going to get completely lost in all of this. So Swinders has made it around to the second troll. He pushed the second troll all the way round. Is that 2 trolls on the same straight now? Good lord. So one of the rules for this is that we place the trolls at the start of the evening and they get pushed about. So every robot has a different set of trolls when they get on the track. This keeps it varied so that each robot has a different challenge. Some it might be easy, some it might be hard, but then that's the same in racing. You're going to experience different robots in different places all of the time. So now those 2 robots being pushed close together, it's incredibly difficult. But this looks like first lap coming up for Swinders. A little bit jittery. I spoke too soon. He's turned back around and has gone back past the 2 robots he worked so hard to get around in the first place. This was going so well. See Swinders getting for first lap here, making his way round now. And that's a lap for Swinders, and you can see the lovely lap counter just ticking up there brilliantly. We're about a minute in, so 2/3 of the way through. This is looking good now for Swinders. I think he's made himself a little path. There we go. And Dino2 says the hammer skills seem good for everyone. Yeah, but avoidance is so graceful. It's like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. We could all be doing this. We could all be bashing into everyone and getting places, and then everyone would be annoyed. It's looking good though for Swinders now. 3 laps on the clock. I think he's ploughed everyone out of the way, avoided that robot there, cleanly getting round. But putting in 2 on the inside line is going to make it very difficult for anybody who has an inside line strategy for this session. It looks like the Super Ward brothers have got completely stuck, and I think this is going to go Swinders' way. So this will be the first 10 points, coming up to the 2-minute mark now, according to my clock. And yeah, I think that's probably it. This is it. Coming up for number 5. There we go. And I've just realised that's a note for me for later. I was about to shout that out on the microphone, but that's for later, Tim. I've just noticed. The counter's not delayed.
Of course.
So everyone gets a secret.
Right.
Okay, 3 minutes are now.
Okay, so that's 5 laps, and are we going to go to the full 3 minutes?
That's 3 minutes up now.
Okay, good. I had my lap counter was a little bit too early. There we go. Sorted. Another one done. Swinders, 5 laps, 10 points. The first 10-pointer in the bag. So that puts Swinders top of the leaderboard for Formula Pi. Congrats. Should we just leave it there? Good night. Because
There's a very clear path around the track now, isn't there?
All right, let's see.
There's a very clear path around that track.
There is now, and this was the issue, and we had this discussion before we came on air, that moving the robots does give a very clear path.
But of course, only a clear path to people who drive in that particular lane.
Yes.
So, tell us your thoughts. Tell us whether you think we should reset them each race or not. One of the things we were a bit worried about was how much time it would actually take to reset each of the robots. And it's potentially problematic because we might not reset them in exactly the same spot and people might get upset about that. So,
and we did discuss sort of using
questions on
coloured
that.
electrical tape to maybe mark where the robots go that match the track, and then we were
But
thinking,
then we're
how
leaving
does-
things on the track.
yeah, and then it's kind of how does that affect the vision, and it's kind of there was a lot of things that we discussed to try to make this work. I think this is a test, really, isn't it? For everyone, for us.
Yeah.
It may or may not stay. Who knows? We'll see. So next up, I've done my spin view. Yeah, tell us your thoughts. Let me know. Somebody said Dino2 says yes. Reset the robots. They should be reset. Pico
That's one
says
vote.
that it should be reset.
2 votes.
2 votes for reset. Hangover Sound says you should reset. Yeah, I think
3
everyone
votes.
is saying reset so far. It's a common theme.
Well, we obviously won't do it this round, but we may do it next round. What we'll obviously do is notify everyone of the rules change if we do that. So
Is there another
keep it
avoidance
fair.
challenge coming up?
yes,
Oh, okay.
yeah, there are 3, isn't it?
Oh, they're all avoidance. I thought they were all
3
different
challenge
challenges.
rounds, 3 avoidance.
Okay.
They shall be progressively harder.
Okay, that's another vote for reset from Simon. So I think reset is the common vote here.
So we're going to keep Aaron very busy running around
Yeah. So
resetting
actually, no.
the robots every race.
Oh, Barry says leave them where they end up. Dino2 says unfair to no reset. So there is a definite lean to reset, I think. I was actually about to mention you, Barry. We did receive your email of an offer for help, and that may be your job to reset the robots if this goes through. So BK Taco says leave them where they are, it's more random. My IT instructor says reset. Nicole Jordan says reset, but I don't get a vote. You do get a vote. Everyone gets a vote. This is 100% democracy we run here. This isn't you pay to enter, you get to vote. No. This is a democracy. We want to know what the fans want. We want to know what the people involved want. We want to know what everyone wants. So it is looking more like reset sounding best. I'll keep an eye on the vote. Keep telling us your thoughts. And I will introduce the next competitors, which I think I've got right. Yes, let me check my numbers. Good. Next. Oh, it's been such a busy day today. Next up, we have Team Lamillo from Sedgefield in the UK, a new team for Formula Pi this year, so no previous form for them, other than the testing they did earlier on this year. I've got a fastest lap recorded for them of 17.63 seconds, so fairly competitive lap time. They have a Twitter handle at Eddie_catflap. Good Twitter handle. Loving that. Dad does a fair bit of coding, but kids do Python at school. I highly approve of that, always. Next up, lovely Formula Pi sponsors, IQ Audio from Cricklade UK. They do the best audio bits and bobs for the Raspberry Pi, DACs, hats, amp bits and pieces, everything you could possibly need. And they are entering in Formula Pi. Last year they did really well and topped the Eliminators, but just didn't quite make it into racing, coming 10th in the Eliminators in the end. But looking to improve this year again and doing better and better as the evening goes on. So there we are, next 2 competitors up. I've lost my piece of paper that says where we are in the evening. See, I haven't found it. So, I have lots of... See, tonight I'm over-organised. I've got too much paper. I can't keep track of where everything is. So, let's go, Tim. Set the robots if they are ready to go,
Okay, we
please.
had one of the robots not starting.
Okay, so we've had a report of one not starting. Okay.
Okay, robot 105 has still failed to start. Do I run them with 105 in place, or do I remove it?
You run with 105 in place.
So the confusing thing is Tim's talking on the radio to Aaron and we can't hear the responses, so it sounds like he's having like a stream of consciousness with himself. He is actually talking to Aaron on the old microphone, and
They actually will hear my voice through this microphone,
yeah,
and then they'll hear Aaron's voice from the upstairs microphones. However, Aaron's voice will be delayed. My voice will be delayed by 2 seconds at least.
yeah.
So it might not make much sense, the conversation, but what we've had is one of the robots is not starting. We're leaving that in place and we're going to run. So we are ready to start light sequence when you are.
Yes, please. Away we go.
Okay, start light sequence,
So this
please.
is heat number 3, Team Lamillo versus IQ Audio, and we'll see how they get on now. They're off. So that is IQ Audio making a move out of the gate. Down the gate, but if we did, he would make a move out the gate. And it's off, staying very wide around the outside. That could cause trouble. It gets and it's made a move back to the inside. Was that avoidance? Was that cunning? Let's see. Oh, grazed that. And he's going to have to avoid this one. Not made the avoidance.
Yeah.
So Team Lamillo, who didn't get off the line, has become an obstacle. And now the IQ Audio team have just got stuck on the back of that robot. I didn't start my timer again, so I'm lost as to where we are for time again. I get lost in the passages of time. IQ Audio not making great strides here in the back of the Lamillo team, who didn't get off the line. I don't think we can even count that as a lap because they haven't crossed the line. So that's not so great. So we've had Jeff Riley come on with a suggestion saying not allow them to get too close to each other, so separate them if you get a group of robots stuck in one place. That counts as a lap now. Has actually crossed the line, it seems. There it is. So you can see the delay, the rough delay. So we obviously need to delay the old timer as well there, Tim. And seems to be making good strides here, even though they're in the upside down, which is somewhere we've not been for a while, which is good. Also, Dino2 and Pico, who are both, I know you went in the first run and you had all of the robots to avoid. Just think, you've had more practice than everyone else because they haven't had to go around robots because they've been moved out of the way. Think of it like that. Take the positive, because you've had to go around, so now you have some code that says, aha, I've seen a robot, I know how to behave with that. Whereas other people with robots that have been pushed to the sides have just driven around in a circle. They've not seen anything. They don't know how their avoidance code works. So in some way, it's an advantage for you guys. And it's all about how you look at it. And I'm sticking to that. You know me, always have to take the positive. And I'm sticking with that. If anything, it's just like coding in the real world, where sometimes we go when we have to be grown-ups. You want to be tested. You want to have your code fully stretched. You don't want it to get an easy ride, because when it ends up in production and it's doing something important, it breaks. Dino2 says let all monsters on the track after their race. Do you know what? I wanted to do this. I wanted to put 20 robots on the track at once and let them all go around. Tim wouldn't let me. I've been told no many times. I have asked, like a small child, giddy with all the robots, with all the power, with all the robots in a herd, but no, I've not been allowed so far. IQ Audio here is moving round nicely now. See if he avoids this one. Oh no!
Okay, that's the 3 minutes up.
That's 3 minutes, so 4 laps. Didn't quite make 4 laps, so close to making the 5 laps. Pushed that robot back onto the racing line a bit. So yeah, I'm leaning more to reset, and I was before the race, but I definitely don't have any say. You guys have all the say.
It certainly is more work for us to reset them.
It is. The feed would be
if you can
longer. We'd
imagine
all have to go and get a cup of tea halfway. Well, we're going to have to get a cup of tea halfway through tonight, aren't we?
Well, that's true. We need to then run around and put the 5 robots in the right position after the end of each race. Aaron actually does do some things when he grabs the new robots and sets things up. He resets his lap timers and what have you. So we would be just making it very, very confusing for Aaron. But
which is why
he's not here to argue.
Which is why I'm saying
we can just give him lots of work.
You're arguing, but Barry, who I can see in the chat, I know you offered your help, and if we did reset them, that could be a job for you. If you're up for doing that, we can arrange that. We can arrange that for sure. I think that is a good solution. Engage Barry.
It's a possibility. I think Barry had one day off. I'm not sure he has every day off to do this. But,
no, you've got to be committed to do this. 100% or nothing. We moved house today. No excuses. It's all or nothing. So, Jeff says get Matildas to reset the robots. She's a little bit of a tiny Matilda. She's a teeny tiny, very delicate, dainty Matilda. We love her. I have lost track of where we are again. Dreadful.
You probably want to do the spin view.
Yeah, but I'm trying to work out who's next. Oh, it's on the screen. It's actually on the screen. You can tell I've had a long day. It's on the screen. Who is coming up next? So you get told even before I do. So this is well organised. Next up, Silson says number 1 on here. Not number 1 anymore. They are number 10 because they came out of the running last year. They came 16th overall, but were champions in the first year of Formula Pi. Now currently running the number 10 badge. This is Team Enigma from Brentwood and Essex, previous champions. They are they work on engines. I remember from their sheets, which I've lost now. They're working on engine management stuff, which is really, really cool, and we're so glad that they're back because we love Team Enigma. So hi Adam, hello to the rest of the team. Next up, we have Lambda P Racing, who were last year's champions. So this is champion v champion avoidance code. I mean, you couldn't have got a better draw here. This is champion on champion. Lambda P Racing, based in Bern, Switzerland, Hamburg in Germany. I seem to remember their code is purely Java. Are they running a purely Java code this year, Tim?
I don't recall. Aaron has been talking to them on via email, and I do remember that this was a test version. It wasn't their final code. They were testing something today, so
okay.
Yeah.
So Barry's just come on the chat and said, but I voted for them not to be reset.
Oh, okay.
So we could ask you to reset them, but then Barry would be having to go against what he voted for resetting the robots. Hey, Brexit. What can I say? You know, we're all having to do things that we didn't all vote for. You know, it's how the world works. Right, are they ready to go?
To be honest, I don't recall now. I'm going to have to check. Have the 2 minutes elapsed?
Too busy talking about doing things we don't want to do.
Okay, we are ready, so I shall start.
George's idea is that I'm going back up. Let's have a look. I am program them to go back to their original position.
Now that is a very good idea. We could do that. We are ready to go. So shall we start them?
Yes, set them off, please.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
So green, red, green, and then we'll be away again with these two ex-champions. And yes, this is random, George. We do have random things. Everywhere, and they're both away. Set with the timer off, so we know. Enigma there, making a nice smooth first turn around the corner. Oh, Enigma's rounded in the back of that one, and so is Lambda P. Three-way crash. Enigma's making an idea. That is an avoidance. Ladies and gentlemen, we have avoidance. That reversed, went round it, and carried on. That is a legitimate avoid. As I said, there's multiple ways you could approach this. You can try and do it in line and say, I've seen something, maybe I should move right now, or you can say, I've hit something, maybe I should go round it to the left or the right. Enigma has just done that beautifully, and a wonderful example of that. Or just getting caught up on Lambda P as they got caught up on that Trollbot stuck in the track, and they're now in the upside down.
No, they're both the right way around.
They are now. Remember, you're not watching the feed.
Ah,
So Tim's trying to commentate on something that happened about 2 seconds ago, which is something I'd never be able to do. Find it hard enough talking about what's happening right now. So Enigma is away again, has freed themselves from the 2 Trollbot robots, which are now on the inside line. It has left a very clear path through the middle. Yeah, it's... George's suggestion is actually another good suggestion. So either program them to go back to their position, so you could tell them, Tim, we've got POSIX up there.
we do, yes. The only problem is fitting POSIX to monsters might be problematic, but we could replace the Trollbots with something else.
We could, and we did have, I think, who put in, Pico's psychologist put in another vote for bricks. So we could have GPS locating bricks.
Well, the bricks really wouldn't move, would they?
Well, then they wouldn't need to have GPS location in them. I've solved your hardware problem. Bricks is a good idea. I think... Oh, no, you can get those bricks. No, we could use bricks. I've just thought of the type of brick we could use. Here's Enigma, 4th lap here, 2 laps hello, 3 laps for Lando P now, just caught up a 3rd. I've just thought of the bricks we could use. Those bricks that you use when you're doing your swimming test when you're young at school. Not that I'm showing my age at all.
What are you talking about? Oh, this is not something I know about.
You're Australian, you swam everywhere.
They didn't try and drown us in Australia.
Yeah, that's how they do swimming proficiency in Australia. They just throw you in the water and hope for the best. Ah, she'll be right, mate.
Avoid the sharks.
Yeah,
You'll be right.
That's what they do. No, over here in Britain, where we're quaint and weird and do stuff, you have to dive into something called your pyjamas when you're a child. I don't know what it was for. I still don't understand. But there are bricks in that are foam wrapped bricks that have a weight in the middle, like a kilo, but the rest of the brick is made from foam. You could use those. That would definitely be a thing we could use. We could buy black ones. We could test this. I'm totally legit. I'm
Okay,
legit.
time's up.
Time's up, 5 laps, and Enigma have cracked the 5 with Lambda P coming through just short of the 5 laps. Jeff Riley knows exactly what I mean. Yeah, you see, I'm not talking rubbish.
Okay, I believe
I am
you.
going to go and look up those foam wrap bricks because Pico, to worry about bricks as because that's your favourite thing is the brick. We want something that's not going to damage the robot, but at the same time we want it not to move. So something that's 100% foam is just going to bounce out of the way, which is boring. But those bricks are slightly soft. I might have to pop to the nearest swimming brick shop and purchase some test bricks to
Test bricks.
throw at him. Well,
Can we get calibrated bricks?
Are they ISO standard bricks?
Yes.
Who knows? I would have to ask. We could find out. Jolien said it's a close race. Yes, it was. It was a very close race. A very good race from the pair of the champions. A little bit of contact with the robots though, so not quite as clean a avoidance as we'd like to see, but still showing their calibre as ex-Formula Pi racers. Very, very good standard of avoidance there. So this is the last heat we're going to do before we're going to take a short break because we have batteries to replace and lots of them. Each Monsterborgs take 10 batteries, and there are 10 robots in circulation, so that is 100 batteries to swap out. We're not joking when we say the lights dim in our village every night when we do this because we have so many batteries on the go.
Well, they don't really dim, but...
They do. We're in the fens in Cambridge.
Oh, well, that's true. They dim, but there's probably, you switch a kettle on and that's it.
Right. Well done, Enigma. Second one through, 10 points for them. So close to points for Lambda P, 4 laps. Might have to adjust that slightly. So, let's do the spin view. I can see the robots have got their lights on, which is good news. So it must mean they've both booted into their correct configuration. And the final 2 robots before the break. First up, we have Rasparas del Infierno from Madrid in Spain. Again, Formula Pi competitors from the previous 2 seasons. I'm scanning down my list, 3rd in the first series and 5th in the second series, so finalists both times round. So, looking to improve on 3rd place in the first series and hoping to do well tonight. George, I can already see you're in the chat. Good evening, and I hope the rest of the team is settled quietly somewhere in a pub watching. And next up we have our new entrant this year from Kjella in Norway. This is Team Skidmo Code Club 2, and I will be practicing that every week, and I'll probably get it wrong every week. They have 2 teams. This is the second of their team. The first one is coming up a bit later on. They're a code club for kids in Norway, aged 12 to 15 years, and that is their team in the picture there. They've got 2 teams hoping to work together, I'm guessing, to crush the opposition on track if they're in a heat together. And that's it for this heat number 5 of the Avoidance Challenge. And they are ready to go. I think we're ready to go.
We are.
Okay, both robots are ready and the score view should be up there.
So, Tim's just scanned through of the... Yes,
Okay.
please. Away. So Pico said, as long as we get nice example pictures of the bricks in advance, it won't be a problem. Yeah, I'm thinking... See, that's the problem, because then the avoidance code you write will be avoiding the bricks, not the cars. So we would maybe have to test this theory.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
Could you put a photo of the car on the back of the brick? Or you can tell I'm tired. I'm starting to go mad now. So let's see who gets away. Both teams setting off at a cracking pace. One of the robots spinning around and turning back, going reverse around the track. President Fierro smashing into the first robot to avoid around that corner, making a hefty avoidance by just reversing away from it. And they've made it around the first robot. It's good. And can they avoid Lamillo, who have got stuck? Oh, not Lamillo, sorry. Team Skesmo. And they are stuck on top. Oh, some proper 2-wheel action there. Nearly going 2 wheels around. This is really a proper hard-hitting heat. And Raspresto and Fiona are away. Hopefully they'll complete their first lap now. And Skizmo are still yet to get a lap in. So, it's looking better for them now, but they are in the middle and all the robots are out to the side. So not much avoidance going on. Yeah, you see, I think we have to rethink this, Tim Freeburn. Grazing the wall there, the code club from Kjella in Norway, just grazing around the barrier as they come into the second lap. And Rospax and Fiona are off, they're away. So yeah, that was a good previous heat from Enigma, and it looks like Rospax and Fiona are setting a good time here, but again, not much to avoid. Everything's been pushed to one side. I think this was an oversight. So, going quite well. Staying to the outside line. 2 robots on the inside line though, you thought that would be quite difficult. Because a lot of people have got inside line codes. I know a couple of the races that are coming up do have inside line codes, so those 2 robots there are going to be very, very difficult. Jeff informs me that diving bricks are frightfully expensive. Okay, I'll take your word for it. But they do exist. It's not just me being mad. So okay, so they're very, very expensive. Maybe we have to do like a Kickstarter for diving bricks.
I could always super glue the robots to the track and...
Stick them.
very large magnets.
Very large magnets. I'm now racking my brains. I want to fix this solution. It's the engineer in me. It makes me want to fix stuff.
Well, another thing that we were considering was actually having those robots drive around the track, but slowly. I think that is a good idea, but it actually makes the challenge a little bit more complicated.
Skidmo have just taken the win at that, 5 laps, and it looks like Rasparas and Fiona have stopped and got stuck on a robot. So the Skidmo have just crept past there and taken the win, 10 laps. So 5 laps, 10 points, done, in the bag.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry, we got carried away talking about bricks.
We did.
And magnets.
There they are, start.
Yeah. Skidmo is the best. Good job. Well done. Felix Sincano, I can see in the chat. Good evening. I'm trying with the name. I'm really sorry. I know that I'm not getting it right. I'm trying. But yeah, diving bricks are really expensive.
We're over.
3 minutes are now.
Maybe bumpers like on a flipper should be funnier than bricks. Yeah, maybe. Says Dino 2.
That's race over.
Is it?
Yep.
We're done. So Rasparas 1 short of the required 5, and Team Skesmo getting the 5. That's 10 points. So far we have had, I'm counting up, IQ Audio. Oh no, we've had Enigma, Swinders, Enigma, Lambda P, and Skesmo getting the 10 points. So currently our 4 joint leaders of the Formula 5 series so far. Right now, because there's a lot of batteries to change over, we've got 2 options, which I'm going to give to the people and see what the people want. Option number 1 is I stay on here and I talk for 15 minutes whilst Tim goes and runs around and changes batteries. Or 2, we take a short break, put the mics on mute, and we go and do all the work we need to do. So people, now vote as quick as you can. Do you want me to stay in here and talk to you, or do you want me to be quiet for a minute? Whilst we do that, I'm going to do the sponsors message, and I will keep an eye on what you say. Be nice. So, let's see, this year, who sponsored us for this season. We have some very, very lovely people who've been helping us out, as well as the people who backed the first 2 Kickstarters we did. Shout out to Electromaker.io, launched their hacker community yesterday. Go and check them out, electromaker.io. It's a community for hackers. Very, very brand new, and they've got a lovely competition going. Go and check them out. Pi Moroni, our pirate friends in Sheffield on Sea, who are amazing and have beautiful hats and beautiful kit for the Raspberry Pi. Go and check them out. Next up, self-driving track days. Alex and the team who are running self-driving track days with real full-size cars on airfields near you. Check them out. As I mentioned earlier on, IQ Audio, DACs and hats for the Raspberry Pi. Lots of gloriously beautiful audio things and amps for the Raspberry Pi. Go and check them out. Next up, ITI, your data migration experts, and the company I work for, so clearly, obviously brilliant at it because I write code for them. Check them out if you need anything doing with CAD, CAE, CFD, or any sort of data migration projects. We're your people. POSIX, great GPS system like I mentioned. We're going to be using those in the Raptor class, which we'll demo at the end of the series. Hot Packers, Brewing Collective from Canterbury, Hannah and Tristan, hello, we love you lots, good evening, I hope you're watching. You're probably not, you're probably playing Skyrim on the Switch, which I totally respect. Mod My Pi, our partners down in Tunbridge Wells, who design lots of lovely things for the Raspberry Pi and have lots of different bits of kit for the Pi for you to buy. And if you want to sponsor us, get in touch. Info at Formula Pi, we're always about on Twitter as well, Formula Pi _. Yeah. So that's it, we're on a break now. I'm now having a look and seeing what people said. Be nice. So, actually, people saying I should chat away and you guys should go and get me a drink, as if you need extra jobs. Tim's not looking at me with much thing. There's actually quite a lot of noise going on in the background. Pico says, show us a running robot with a default code while obstacles are there while we wait. It'd be like the child, you know, like the BBC Child with the chalkboard and the creepy clown. It would be like that, wouldn't it? Just like one robot running around. I could chat. How long do you think you're going to be, Tim Freeburn? You're away from your microphone now, aren't you? So you have to be a mute. He's doing a mute face at me. One lone... I can go and run around the track upstairs. So everyone can see me. Is that allowed? No, I can't interfere with the racing. That would be rude. Right, I am going to disappear. I am going to go and get a drink. So, we're going to call it... Do you need 15 minutes? 7:30?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to put this on a break. We're going to leave the feed running, and we'll just put like a be right back viewer alert on it. At 7:30 we will resume. So, off you go. Grab a cup of tea or a beer or a gin and tonic or whatever you fancy, and join us in 15 minutes for the final 4 heats that we're going to run tonight with the remaining robots. So thank you very much for so far, and we will speak to you in a little bit. Bye. and with 30 seconds to spare, we're back. We're done. I can hear Tim is clicking some zip ties behind me to indicate the final 2 robots are being done. But we are all but there and ready to go. Whilst you've been talking amongst yourselves and I've been interjecting a little bit on the chat, we have been talking amongst ourselves. We agree. We are going to do something about the positioning of the robots. That something has been discussed. We've had a couple of ideas, but we're going to fully test it to make sure that it doesn't affect any of the code that you're writing, because we'd hate to disrupt or make it more difficult for you guys in terms of code being written for one specific purpose and then not working because we've changed the way we're doing things and changed the way we're racing and stuff, because then it makes it no fun for everyone. So, in short, we will be repositioning the robots. Am I safe to say that? Next time? Yes. Tim's just nodded at me. He's away from the microphone right now. You can see Aaron is setting up the next 2 robots that are going. We are slowly ramping ourselves back up. I can turn off the "we'll be right back" notice that I put on YouTube. Pico asked, said it wasn't scheduled on YouTube. I think the event is scheduled, but you have to have notifications turned on so that your phone will kind of buzz whenever we go live. I've noticed that on my phone it doesn't sometimes do it if I don't click on the either notify or click on the set. I think there's a subscription version to notifies on or something. I'll have a look and find out how to do that. I think I just set mine by default, but then I don't need to notify myself when this is on because invariably I'm here. But I will find out about that for you and let you know. Or at least I should be here. I think there was one. I've missed one when I was in hospital. So I've been here for every single one, and Tim's been here for every single one. And I'm glad that the connection's been good this year. That's great. This year? Oh, God. Tonight. That's a big relief. So yeah, it turns out it was BT's free hub system, which they claim doesn't interrupt. But when somebody is constantly logging on and on and going off and on and off and on and off and on and off, it does cause that break, and it causes a problem in the connection to the person who happens to be streaming on the YouTubes. Who knew? We will probably be letting BT know about that. Not that they'll do a lot about it, I'm guessing. Will we let them know about it? We should. It's due diligence.
Maybe an argument in the forum somewhere.
Maybe an argument in a forum somewhere. Tim's got his troll faces printed out anyway, so he's alright. He'll just sling one of them up and say it don't work. I think the issue is that we have, because we're on a little industrial estate, a lot of lorry drivers at night tend to seek out industrial estates like this, and they park up for the night and sleep here. So if they're on BT's system, they'll just log on to whatever free router they can find, and it just so happens that ours was on. It's now off, which is maybe a little bit mean to the people who want free internet wherever they go because they pay for it, but at the same time, you guys want to watch racing, right? You don't want to have buffering all the time. Literally no one wants that. So I have just glanced up at Tim, and I've seen he's resumed his seat.
I am back.
Hey, and on the microphone as well. Has that been good for everyone else? I think it's been nice having Tim's voice actually on the old ones and twos. It's good.
One of the questions I would ask is all the volumes, are they correct from your perspective? Are we too quiet? Are we too loud? Are we just right?
Yeah.
How is everything?
Who knows? Right. We've got Aaron has updated the screen, which means we are good to go. I'm getting a bit of a sore throat tonight. It's not good for Christmas, is it? So, next up, after our little breakette where we had to put all the robots in the right place, we have the Halo Goodalls. Long time competitors in Formula. I always said suppliers. No, I'm so tired. Long time competitors in Formula Pi. Have had some really, really good results. Made the finals both years. Came 5th and then 3rd in the final last year. Really, really improving. Looking to go one better for this year. And they've got an amazing lid, which is this 3D printed alien beaming up their Halo Goodall letters, which is incredible. It's so good in the flesh. I love it. And next up, we have Chitty Chitty Pie Pie. Very careful to say that properly. so as not to offend any children. They are from Poole in the UK. 50 plus years combined coding experience on the team, which is pretty incredible. And we only received their lid this morning, so that is hot off the Royal Mail right there. And I love the Lego Joker. It's absolutely brilliant, and it's a great little lid. So
The numbers
well
are
done.
upside down.
Your numbers are upside down, though, Tim says. Doesn't matter, though. Well, for me, I like it.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine. We're not using them for reading like we were originally planning. We were originally planning to have some sort of high-tech number scanning system that would detect the robots and do lap counters.
All the best intentions in the world and none of the time.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. All of the good intention and none or very little of the time, or it's in a box somewhere. Somewhere else in another house, somewhere. So, if they're ready to go, let's go. I can see the red and green light is on, so we'll set them up on their avoidance laps. So remember, we're on first to 5 laps, 10 points for the first person, 5 points for the second.
Are we ready for the light sequence?
Adam has just said we need a theme tune. We did have that, yes, please Tim, send them away.
Okay, start light
We
sequence,
did have that
please.
rather long start video that Tim said. Oh, Richard Haylor says echoed. Maybe we do need like a bit of cardboard between us or something. Maybe I just need to be a bit quieter. And they're away. They're off. Oh, good start there from the Joker. Just spinning around there, looking for the Haylor Goodall's a tentative start there. Maybe searching for the robots as they go around. I mean, they have all been pushed to the edges now, so it is making it somewhat easier. Oh, just grazing the wall there as they go around. I think a lot of people have opted for a slower code option for the avoidance. So, there's echo, just me, apparently. So, okay, maybe if I quieten down a little bit, then you won't hear me so much on Tim's mic. If I come closer to the mic and stop shouting so much, maybe that will stop the echo. We need a theme tune. Yes, I do agree. We'd have that Maud Fustang tune that we used at the start. We do need to make a little start ident that's like 30 seconds to get into this, or have Tim singing something. He is coming to Carol's
You
with
don't
me
want to
on
hear me
Friday.
sing.
Yeah, we're coming to Carol's with me on Friday. You're going to be practicing. You've got to be practicing. You're going to be good. 1 lap apiece here now. The Joker team of Chitty Chitty Pie Pie is good. Jeff says it's gone now. Yeah, I think I was being too noisy and I was picking up on Tim's mic. I've come a little bit closer and quietened down. I've hushed my tones. 2 laps for the Haylor Goodalls, 1 lap for Chitty Pie Pie here. Looking good for the Haylor Goodalls. Seem to be taking a very tentative approach, but that's working well for them. Scanning for the robots and making a decision. That's some thought there from Chitty Chitty Pie Pie. Having a go. Haylor Goodalls just gliding by. That looks really, really good from them. There was definitely Chitty Chitty Pie Pie is dancing. It's that looked like it avoided then though. It looked like it did actually make a concerted effort, saying like, I've seen the robot
There's
here. This is
definitely
good.
something going on there.
And I'm going. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I think the echo was me being too loud. I'll shut up now and be a bit quieter and shout out so much. I think we will have to set up like. I mean, this is going to become such a complicated studio setup. We're going to have a big cardboard wall between me and Tim, covered with egg boxes. I do eat enough eggs. We could probably do a homemade one. You know, it would work quite well. Note to self: collect egg boxes. So I've got my list already for things that we need for next Formula Pi: swimming bricks and egg boxes. Anything else anybody needs whilst we're there? Haylor Goodall's on 4 laps. Chitty Chitty Pie Pie now getting a bit more of a wiggle on, and they're on 3 laps. But it looks like this is going to be tight for 3 minutes. It feels like we've been at almost 3 minutes. Are they going to make their 5th lap within the 3 minutes? They have. There we go. Haylor Goodall's 10 points for them for completing 5 laps within the 3-minute time limit. And Chitty Chitty Pie Pie not far behind. Lots of very delicate spins though. So I think maybe you've been detecting something and getting false positives out of that and getting a bit of a spin on, but that's it. We are done. 3 minutes is up. Tim's just throwing some fingers at me. Was that a rap sign?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think it
How do you do
was.
3 minutes?
He is way more gangster than I am.
Right. There's got to be some way of holding my fingers up that says 3 minutes that doesn't look like I'm swearing or something.
You can just put it like a normal person. Just use the middle 3 fingers.
Yeah, but that was... No,
It doesn't look like you're swearing at me at all. Right. Well done, the Haley Goodalls. Great start. Good start to the campaign. Smooth drive. Yeah, I do agree, Adam. Well done. It was very cool, calm, and collected going around the track there. Very, very good driving from the Haley Goodalls. Nice to see some people who had some tricky times getting some good results tonight. I'm pleased. This is good. Right. Next up, get onto the spin view. Who have we got next? On the left, starting on the left-hand lane, we have Saska from Helsinki in Finland. Last season's 7th place finisher in Formula Pi. Did amazingly well, won a few heats, had some really, really good results in early testing. Sent us this beautiful lid, which has a lovely car on top of it, which I really like. Which car is that? It actually looks a bit like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It looks a bit like that.
It does a bit.
So maybe this is an homage to the other team. I can't tell. It's very good, but good to have you back. They came 7th last year, did very well. And next up we have Wacky Racers from Saint-Ouen in France. Beginners in Python and the Raspberry Pi, so this is new for them. But did very well in training, I seem to remember, did quite well. Lots of good results for them, and it's nice to see them back. Yeah, I have little more to say, other than good luck. I love the lid with Muttley on from Wacky Racers. It is brilliant. Muttley clearly the best character out of that series. Maybe Penelope Pitstop like close second, but Muttley definitely the winner for me. Right, I've gone all quiet now. Tim's got a thumb up.
I think we're about 2 minutes now, so
We should be. It feels like it. I've put my phone somewhere as well, so I can't have a timer on. So I'm flying completely blind right now. Jeff says, I think it looks like Doctor Who's Bessie. Yeah, you're right. Or maybe Brum. Does shout out to Brum. That's a proper. That was going on in my childhood. The little car with the flappy doors that went meep meep. I don't know. Shout out to Brum. I'm feeling properly. It's because I think today I'm feeling properly nostalgic because I've been a grown up and got my first house, and I'm feeling a bit like a child today now, reverting. Swimming bricks and Brum. Right, yes please.
We are ready.
Let's go.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
So green, red, green. We'll be away. Let's see how Saska and Wacky Racer get on. They're off. Both flying start. Oh, Saska making a move straight into the robot in the outside lane. So we thought that would be a problem with that being there, but it's just not. It's caused big problems for Saska, who I did see in the chat earlier on. He might have popped off to get a cup of tea. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Wacky Racer there, Wacky Racer making an outside line. Will it avoid this robot on the outside? Look
Lovely.
at that. That was absolutely fabulous. Well done, Wacky Racer. You could see the tiny Raspberry Pi brain inside that robot going, I think I see something in my horizon. I think that might be a robot. I think I might step to the right here, and steps to the right. Brilliant. Hacky Racer nailing it. Wacky Racer. I'll keep calling them Hacky Racer. It's like the W silent. Let's see
do it again.
how we go. Can do it again. Beautiful example of avoidance there from the Wacky Racer team. That is what I'm talking about. It's calm, it's calculated, brilliant. I've noticed a lot of people as well going for this sort of slow, tentative approach for this, and it's brilliant. It's very good. Saska still appears to be stuck and asking in the chat, why isn't it trying to reverse? I'm not sure. I don't know. Let's see if Wacky Racer can get 3 for 3. Oh, that is amazing. That is absolutely astonishing.
Perfect.
Wacky Racer, you are my favourite. That is brilliant. That is a good example of what we're looking for, and the sort of avoidance code that is just brilliant. Congrats, guys. That's amazing. If you could, I don't know, share out some tips on the forum and help out and give us some clues as to how you did that. That is really good. But are they going to hit the 3-minute mark? 4 laps? Oh, no. Not quite on the 4th lap. That worked astonishingly well, though, for the first 3 laps. That was very, very good. Really impressed with that now stuck on the robot. Interesting question, Tim.
Yes.
In this circumstance, we've got two robots where the wheels are sort of 50-50. Can the camera actually see the other robot if it's that close but caught on a robot by a wheel?
So what it's likely to see is just a when it's up against a wheel, a very black mark. So it should, or a full screen of black. So it should detect that it's stuck up against a wall and reverse. The other thing is that we have an example for code where if the
Okay,
sorry,
3
I'm
minutes
getting
are
messages
now
in
up.
through my headphones. 3 minutes is up. That race is over.
Oh, so Wacky Racer just short of the 5 laps. I see Saska's set off now. I can just see their robot has gone, made a move. I was more asking about when robots are not butted up against each other,
Right.
but you've got one set off to the side. So imagine the wheels are touching, like the right hand side is touching.
If it's stuck in the same position, what it should do is detect that the image in front of it hasn't actually moved for a while, and sort of go into the stuck detection code and try and run through that.
Right.
The problem is that depending on what threshold is, if the robot's sitting there, for example, jumping up and down a bit as it's trying to lift over the back of the robot in front of it, what happens is that that image is constantly moving, and it thinks, oh, I'm not stuck. So potentially threshold problems, but obviously the best thing is exactly as you've done to try and avoid those collisions in the first place. Sometimes they happen. It's unfortunate, but that was an excellent bit of work there.
It was very good, and yeah, it was close on that 4th lap, very, very close, but brilliant from Wacky Racer, great stuff. And Saska just unlucky there, obviously freed themselves towards the end, but not really making much ground through the lap. So that is, and I agree, Richard, it is hard to go fast and avoid things. You have to make a choice, and that's where it's, it's just so difficult to make that choice. For this, you want to be avoiding, but again, the 3-minute limit means you still have to go fast enough to meet the 5 lap. That's quite a hard criteria. I think this is a hard challenge.
It is.
I'm going to put it out there. This is hard. This is not easy, and we're not expecting people to be, excelling. This is why it's a challenge, and I think it's been good. It's been interesting to watch. It's been very, very interesting for me to watch, to see how this has all gone on. And how many years until I enter this? I don't know. I think I should 1 year, just for lols. And then not tell you my strategy. Well, then I would, because I've got a big mouth. I would tell you everything.
You would.
I would tell you everything I was doing. I'd get no help from Tim. I did do some electronics last week, though. Yay me. I made a circuit. I had a button with a light and everything. It was really good. Not long before I'll be doing software and hardware. Ooh, dangerous. Adam says, how long before Aaron can't catch an avoiding robot? It's coming. It's coming. He is going to be herding those robots before long. It won't be long.
I think certainly if it's in the Raptor class, they are very, very fast. So
but you're quicker standing still there.
Yeah. Maybe we need some remote switch offs.
Right.
Okay, both robots are now ready, and Scorpio should
Okay, I think we are ready.
I'm
when
going to
you
spin
are.
view, yep.
You haven't done your spin view. Oh dear.
Easy. So, next up we have Robot 100, Ecstatic from Volkswagen in Germany. They say their programming experience is a little bit. That's as much as they allude to their programming experience. They also say relevant hobbies, science and drinking beer, 2 hobbies I heavily endorse. They are 2 of my favourite hobbies. I do like beer, and we've started brewing beer again, me and Tim, under the Hop Hackers moniker. We've got 2 brews on at the moment.
I have 2 brews in the fridge. I have an American IPA, which is a 5.9%, I believe. American IPA,
Spin
which
view.
is
Spin view.
Oh,
the IT guy from Independence,
Apologies.
Oregon, who did really, really well last year and had some absolutely fantastic results, including the fastest recorded ever lap around the Formula Pi track of 13.939 seconds in the Eliminators, coming second in the summer 2017 season, which is a really good result. Jamie is in the chat. I can see Nicole in the chat too, so good evening, or probably good lunchtime. Good afternoon. No, Oregon's West Coast. So, lunchtime. Happy lunchtime, guys. It's also getting on into the evening for us here. But, yeah, sorry, Tim, I had to interrupt you because they were spinning and you were talking about beer. I love you.
Unfortunately, I can't see what's on Claire's machine, so I can't see that she's doing the spin view. But I should be able to remember, but my memory is rubbish, so apologies for that. But,
yeah, and you'll apologise again in 10
if
minutes.
anyone is interested, the other beer is a California Common, which is very, very nice. I'm looking forward to drinking both of those over Christmas. All 19-litre Cornelius kegs of them. Nom, nom, nom.
Everyone wants to help out. We have lots of beer. We can't sell it because we're not licensed, but you can drink it for free. That's the best thing about our beer. Right, we're ready. Go, set those robots away.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
The IT guy famous for giving me heart attacks during the Eliminated last year when he mounted the wall and nearly dived into the gravel because he was doing such high speeds. Ecstatic going backwards. A bit of a wiggle there, and then the IT guy's away, taking the lead. Ecstatic is a bit wobbly. Interesting lines there as they come in. Adam says, challenge accepted. No remote switch off with the Benny Hill theme appropriately. Yes, be amazing. I would agree, that would be the best thing. This looks like it's going quite smoothly for Ecstatic and the IT guy just trailing behind there. The IT guy putting in the first lap. Ecstatic is now catching up. Whoa, curse the commentator's rife tonight. Reversing away from the IT guy as he goes around the corner. Lots of swerving. So, how are we doing? The IT guy struggling a little bit there with that car, just flipping upside down again, and Ecstatic looks like they're coming back round again, but the IT guys freed themselves. Although they are upside down, they are still going. The troll box, as you can see them there, in all of their majesty. It's full of 5 minutes work. It's something that came to Tim whilst he was unloading the van today. I should print some trolls into these, it'll do old. And that is Ecstatic overtaking the IT guy, who has now got stuck on a wall. Jamie, I'm sure we've had words about this. I am absolutely sure we've had words about this. Both of them were on the wall there momentarily. Ecstatic was on. They're both on the wall. He's managed to free himself from the wall. Great stuff, and is back on again with the driving round. 2 laps a pair. Ecstatic ahead now though because they've taken that half lap lead. Let's see how we go. Right, the IT guy could he overtake here? Could he overtake Ecstatic? It's tight. Ecstatic got caught on that troll bot and has got reversed back around. The IT guy's taking another lap there over the top. So it's 3-2 now. Must be getting quite close to the end of the 3 minutes here before we move on to our final pair of robots. We've had a word about walls, Jamie. We've been there. Let's stay away from the walls. Last year the Eliminators was absolutely brilliant, and Jamie put in some astonishing laps with his code, and it was nail-biting to watch him get into the final. Brilliant to see. And that's 4 laps now for the IT guy. Ecstatic getting caught on this final troll bot, which has placed itself right in front of the camera. And it looks like the IT guys come around for their final lap there, with a green light under their robot just going through the S's, smoothly getting through. Here we go, round. Will he avoid this robot here? Not quite. Oh, having a think. Onto the wall. Seems like my brain is stopping when I'm watching them.
That's 3 minutes.
That's 3 minutes. Wow, this is tight. These rules are harsh. I mean, I'll be the first to, or not the first to say these rules are harsh, Tim.
Sorry.
Will be. Good words later. I've been sent to bed with no dinner for setting rules that are so difficult. Okay, on to our final competitors for this evening. If I can find the right thing to set off whilst Aaron is setting up the final robots. First up on the outside lane, robot number 103 with the red light underneath is Farstar from Toronto, Canada. They have written countless lines of code. I would like to know how many countlesses. Infinity, big number.
Infinity +1.
Seems to do quite well in testing, I seem to remember. Had some quite good runs. They'll have the red light underneath to match the glorious maple leaf of Canada. And hopefully they will do well again tonight and get some good avoidance in here. And in the next lane, as we glide neatly across, it is Team 1 from Skesmo Code Club. To confuse you, because Team 2's already been. They were earlier on. They were one of the teams that got 10 points. So hopefully the Team 1 can do just as good as Team 2 did. They are a Code Club team from Kjella in Norway, for kids aged 12 to 15, and that's their team there. They are on Twitter. I do have a Twitter handle for them. They are at Paul Solheim, who is their instructor. So go and check them out, follow him, and see how they get on, and find out more about their Code Club.
Just going to point out, this robot is now in a rather nasty position, isn't it?
This Trollbot here, this one.
That
This
could
one
be an
we're looking at.
interesting one.
Tasty.
Probably not the easiest thing to avoid.
Definitely not. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys get on.
Watch this space.
For sure. Right, are we up to 2 minutes?
I think we're just about to hit the 2 minutes.
I'm quite hungry and tired now as well.
Is that Chinese for you tonight? Or?
Well, I don't know. I fancy it. I kind of want to go to our new house and test out the takeaways in the village, but I'm I'm quite tired, so we might end up sleeping here. No, we won't. We will go home. We will be sleeping in amongst the boxes. I will make a hammock in the kitchen, probably, and get cosy there. It'll be much cosier there. So, set them off when they are ready, Tim, as soon as. And then this will be it for Formula Pi for 2017. We'll be obviously taking a break for Christmas. Not long though, I don't think. I'm just skimming through the dates. Oh no, I'm lying. It's actually the day after my birthday. We will be having the next heat. Yes, please, Tim, send them away.
Okay, start light sequence, please.
So, here we go. The final time for tonight. Green, red, green, and then we're away. Oh, sorry, I'm shuffling. And we're away. They're off. Whoa! Big spin there from Gizmo. And Farstar just going straight for the troll. Maybe trolls is the wrong thing to put on top of them, because trolls tend to attract attention, unwanted attention. I don't know what we should have put on top of them. Maybe we should put tinsel. We could have been really festive and put little Christmas trees on top of them. Oh, that would have been really nice.
That was an idea, but I ran out of time with all the house moves.
That one just skimmed by that one. You changed the camera angle just as it skimmed by. Looking very good for both teams here, actually. That was a really sharp avoidance then from Farstar, making it past that robot then. Did we guys just see that? Or did my brain go mad? Farstar just ramping over that robot, into the inside line. Skizmo is looking good here for 10 points, I think. Oh, Farstar reversing, thinking about the corner, now going round. Avoiding that, staying fairly midline, it's looking good. This looks like a 100% run from them. I think if the robot's a bit further in, it would have been a little more unkind. 3 laps, and I think we're going to get to 5 laps for both of these. I don't think they're going to have much trouble with this. The robot has been pushed out of the way far enough now. It's good. Tonight has been a proper good variety of challenges and times. Wow, fastest camera angle challenges there. Easy now. This isn't the Born Identity. Just calm down. We've got challenges.
Sorry, I'm switching to cameras when I see action. Sometimes that's just after I've switched camera.
So that is Farstar getting stuck, and it looks like Skizmo have got their 5 laps done. Nailed on. So that's it. That is 2 10-point runs for the Code Club from Norway. That is a result.
2 10 points.
They got 10 points for their second team as well.
Ah.
Yes. 10 points for each team. Did you forget?
Excellent job. No, I did forget, yes.
Oh, see, you clearly weren't paying attention. Good job, one of us was. And that's it, I think, for tonight. I think that'll be 5 laps there. Maybe. Or are we? Is it time up?
We're just about to run to time.
Okay. stuff. I've been a little bit quiet tonight. I'm a little tired. Plus, I've had quite a busy week coding. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know I've been finishing off a paper for a conference in early January, and last week and this week were quite stressful. I have we finished the paper's gone in. It's very pretty. If you're interested in computational fluid dynamics, hit me up on Twitter @thetufty, and I can point you in the direction of our beautiful paper. That's my bag. That's where I'm at the moment. CAD and CFD and CAE and conversion stuff. And that's 3 minutes. We're done. So that is 2 10-point rounds for the two clubs from Team Skesmo. Great performance from the Code Club tonight. Also, good performances from Swinders, Enigma, Lambda P. I can see Wacky Racer did some amazing avoidance. Their routine was stunning. 3 for 4 getting around that robot was absolutely brilliant. That's very, very impressive. I am very impressed. So, next race will be in the new year on the 17th of January. We will be back to the normal racing format. So that is 5 robots at a time. No troll bots, other than Tim, if he's in that sort of mood. And we will be racing 5 robots at a time, as per usual. So, thank you for joining us. Shout out to Skesmo 1 and 2. That is a great, stunning performance from you guys tonight. We will put the next event up as soon as possible. Check our Formula Pi live event schedule. I think you can find that on the Formula Pi web page. Maybe. Yeah. It'll be on Twitter and somewhere else. We'll make sure it's everywhere, and we'll email you and let you know everything in the world ever. So deadline for code for the next race is the 15th of January, so you'll have a lot of time over Christmas when you're not eating turkey and generally chilling to get your code together for the 17th of January, the first full race of the next season of Formula Pi. I hope you've had a lovely evening. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas and New Year from the whole team here. Have a very restful time and enjoy your break, and we will see you in the new year. So good night, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.